It is July 1st, which means Happy Canada Day. And since it's Canada Day, we're going to be making this macrame Canadian flag. Hi friends! For this project, you're going to need a 12-inch wooden dowel for our flagpole, red and white single strand cotton rope, which I purchased from ropeshop.ca, which happens to be a Canadian company. You're also going to need sharp scissors, of course, a hot glue gun and some hot glue. And this is optional, but T-pins and a macrame board is very useful. And don't forget, you're going to need a grid pattern, and I like to use a highlighter to highlight each row. Be sure to take a screenshot of the pattern now, and let's get started. On your 12-inch wooden dowel, we're going to attach all 11 cords right on the second half of our wooden dowel, not the first half. To attach all of our 11 cords, we're going to use a lark's head knot. So fold your cord in half, then place the loop end behind your wooden dowel and thread your long tail ends through that loop. Cinch up the slack and then attach the next 10 cords the same way. Alright, let's take a look at our pattern. As you can see, there is 11 squares along the top row. Each square represents a vertical double half hitch knot in that corresponding color. And as you can see, we have 22 cords on our wooden dowel, so we will be tying our knots around 2 cords, not 1. Cut off a long strand of your red cord, and what you want to do is place it behind the first 2 sets of cord with your short tail end on the left and the long on the right. Make a loop on your right side with your longer strand, wrap it behind and through that loop. This is half of your knot. Don't cinch it up too tight, you really want it to just be looped around gently around your 2 cords. Then make another loop on your right hand side, wrap your long tail end around and through the loop. Cinch up the slack but not too tight because you want to be able to slide your knot all the way up to the very top. Then go ahead and make your adjustments. For your next knot, you want to place your long strand behind the next set of 2 cords. Make a loop on your right, wrap your long tail end around and through the loop. Cinch it up to the top, but again, not too tight. Then repeat one more time. Make a loop on your right, wrap your long tail end around and through the loop, and cinch up to the top. I love macrame pixels because it's really quite easy. It's just one knot, the vertical double half hitch knot, over and over and over again. So we're going to continue tying our vertical double half hitch knots all the way straight across to the very end of this row. Before we move on to the next row, I like to highlight the row that I have just completed. Alright, so looking at our pattern, what we need to do now is go back in the opposite direction. Taking the same strand of red cord that we were working with, place it behind your last 2 strands of white cord and bring it over to the left. This time you want to make a loop on your left, wrap your long tail end around and through that loop, cinch it up to the top, and repeat one more time. So again, make a loop on your left, wrap your long tail end around and through the loop, and cinch up to the top. Then place your cord behind the next set of 2 cords and continue straight across your row. Now, I'm sure I've already said this a couple times already, but please make sure you're not tying your vertical double half hitch knots too tight. That is what messes up most macrame pixel patterns. If you tie your knots too tight, it will cause it to pucker, and then your image will get warped. You want your knots as square as possible, just like your grid pattern. Alright, so for the 3rd row, we're going to go back in the other direction again. So grab your strand of cord, place it over to the right, and continue tying your vertical double half hitch knots. As you can see, I ran out of length of my red cord, so to fix that, all you have to do is grab your roll of rope and cut off another piece. And we're going to attach it just the exact same way we did at the very start of this project. So to go over it again, you want to place it behind your 2 cords with the short tail end on the left and the long on the right. Make your loop on the right, wrap your long tail end around and through the loop, and repeat one more time. Cinch up the slack and then slide it all the way up to the very top. Now you're going to notice that you're going to have a couple of short tail ends. Don't worry about them. All you have to do is just tuck them in the back and we will deal with them at the end of this project. Also, I do have a tip that's going to help you once we get to the end. Make sure when you're attaching a new piece, try to avoid the ends of your project. The reason why you want to avoid attaching a new piece at either side of your work is because it makes cleaning up the ends on the back of your work a lot easier later on. You'll see what I mean. Alright, let's continue tying our vertical double half hitch knots, zigzagging down our pattern until we need to switch to the white cord. Then I'll show you what to do next. Alright, now that we've completed our first block of red, you can see that we need to switch to the white cord now. But for our color switch row, we're going back in the opposite direction. That's going to affect how we attach our white cord. Grab your long strand of white cord, and since we're working back in the opposite direction, we have to have our short tail end on the right and the long tail end on our left this time. So we're going to attach it just the same as we did at the start of this project, only we're doing it backwards. So make a loop on your left, wrap your long tail end around and through that loop, and then repeat one more time. Now I'm right-handed, so this is a little bit tricky for me to demonstrate, and it's also a little bit tricky going backwards, just in general. I don't know, do you struggle going backwards too? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, continue tying your vertical double half hitch knots just the same as before, then we're going to switch back to the red. Alright, so to switch back to the red, you want to grab the same red cord that you were working with before and lift up all of your filler cords and place that red cord right underneath. What we're going to do is run it behind our work. Place your red cord underneath the next set of white cords and tie your vertical double half hitch knot just the same as you were before. Don't worry, I'm going to skip to the next row and show you one more time. Now, as you can see on this row, our red cord is already on the right hand side. So all you have to do is move it in front of the next set of cords and tie your vertical double half hitch knot. Then to swap back to the white, all you have to do is bring it behind that knot you just tied and place it underneath the next set of white cords and tie your knot. Now, because we're running our cord behind our work every time we need to switch, you will notice that there's going to be some stitches in the back, which is totally fine. And sometimes you will have quite a big stitch like I have right here, where I'm running it almost from one end to the other on this project. This is a small wall hanging, so it doesn't really matter, but on a larger wall hanging, you don't typically want to run it all the way from one end to the other. At that point, I would just snip it off and attach a new piece. And finally, one more thing, do not pull it too taut when you run it behind, otherwise it could cause your work to pucker. Once you've completed your entire grid pattern, flip it over, and what we're going to do is clean up the mess on the back. Now, if you're a fan of my patterns, you will notice that I typically use yarn, and when I use yarn, I like to tie my loose ends in a knot, but not when I work with rope. Tying knots in the back to finish it off when working with yarn is great, but not with rope. You will find that it's really bulky, which tends to make it not lie flat on the wall when you hang it up. So I snip off my tail ends, leaving, I don't know, maybe about 1/4 of an inch, and then I tack it down with some hot glue. And when I use the hot glue, I'm trying to smooth it as flat as possible on the back. Once I'm finished snipping off all my loose ends and tacking it down, I like to flip it over to make sure that my ends are nice and even. And you could leave the fringe if you want, but I'm gonna tuck it in just so that it looks more flag-like. So I'm gonna cop out and use the easy method by just lining it with some hot glue and flipping the fringe upwards. But if you wanted to, you could get a tapestry needle and weave in the ends. For my easier method, I'm just flipping it up and tacking it down and then snipping off all the loose ends. I hope you enjoyed this macrame pixel tutorial, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I super appreciate that. And I'll see you in the next one.